We've got the males here for the 24 litters. 24-6 would be lot 17, kind of the darker colored one there on the far side, or the littler bear with the least amount of white, if you will, as he kind of wants to pull across the screen. And then 24-7, the one that's got a splash of white there on the upper part of his hip.
Yeah, the -6 bear here, or boar pig, I guess we could say. As that thing gets hooked up and goes, that's a nice show pig. I mean, maybe a little bit like we talked one of them 22s there earlier in terms of just how boxy he is and stout he is. I mean, he's a little slower roller kind of a deal, maybe a 60, 70 at state fairs. And, and like we said with the other one, maybe gets a little further into the fall than what some of the rest of these do. But, I mean, that thing is got a stout noggin and still neat in his proportions and dense in his hind leg. I mean, when he kind of wants to get up and decide he wants to be a show pig here, I mean his height at his shoulder and hip is very good. I mean, his spine might be up in him just a hair, but I think that's my experience with these Berkshires here. They're all a little bit that way just as babies, and they kind of chill that out as we go. But that's a neat show pig. The bigger one right here, the -7. I mean, this one reads stout from the width between his eyeballs to that huge flag tail he's got sitting on top of his butt there. I mean, round rib cage, big pin, plenty of muscle, plenty of shape. Maybe not just as slick looking as some of the rest of these, but if you read how stout his skull is, I mean, that thing is stout, to say the least.
Yeah, for sure. In 24-6 and -7, Levi's got -7 hooked up there. Got a little bit of more of a splash of white, if you will. Like that hog. I think that hog has some interesting pieces, and if those pieces come together, I think he could be a pretty dang nice show pig. I think from just a head and neck and a look perspective, he's darn sure adequate, if not adequate plus, and he's got a huge fat forearm laid into him. He's got a broad chest and still got some shape up high. He's not a hog for me that probably sits in the 40s and the 50s. I think he needs to be a little bit of a bigger hog, but he's got a big hind leg, and I think it works. Honestly, I think you're not seeing the best of this hog. 3-4 days ago there, he just wasn't feeling the best, and I think he's coming back on the mend. So I do like that one. -6, another one that still has his seeds there, and we kind of talked about that earlier. They're being sold as barrows, but man, this thing's got a big, fat, dense forehead. But if you study him there in the base of his throat, everything reads right. I think his proportions and just his height to length ratio from the side as he goes to pull is very, very good. I would agree with you. He's up in his 10th, just a shot, but I think that barrel will smooth out, and I promise you, they've got to have a little extra every once in a while, and you just got to manage that in a spot or two. But got a good rear leg with a fat hind leg and a big foot to go with it. We like 26 and 24-6 and 24-7 quite well in this pen.